Hello everybody. So I thought it might be fun this month just to show you what I've been doing through the winter while I've been waiting on my book to come back for editorial work and all that kind of stuff. And I've been working on what I'm calling my Jane Austen journal. And as you can see, it's an altered book, which means that it was a book and it's been altered into something else. And I actually got this journal. It was already, a lot of the pages were in here. All I've done is decorate them. So I've decorated the front here. And so I'm going to flip you through it. If you don't know what a junk journal is, I'll kind of chat about it as I go. So here is my first cover page here. And you see I've got lots of little tags in here. And what I wanted to do with this particular book was to make it what's called like an everyday book, where I'm going to put quotes in, my favourite quotes. There's a room at the top there. I did a flip out here with that, and I find this is a great way when you go through a magazine and you find really beautiful pictures or things that you love. This is a great way to keep them, is to actually put them into a junk journal. So yeah, so here's another flip out here with a couple of little tags that I made, and I really love the classics, so I wanted to use this book to put in classical quotes, stories about things that I particularly like, saving really pretty pictures. I'm going to put a lot of poetry in this book, and so I'm also collecting really pretty period pictures. I've got a little envelope here. You cannot be a poet, be the poem. And then also I love putting music sheets in my junk journals. I am going to add a little bit of lace to this, didn't get around to doing that yet. And then I'll be journaling in here any little quotes and stories. Right now I'm reading the book The Enchanted April, which is just a beautiful story. And so I've already seen a couple of quotes that I want to put in there. I do tend to read the classics through the winter more than I do in the summer. I have just finished, I'm still nearly finished. I always read more than one book at a time. Here's some more music. And this was a beautiful magazine that I subscribe to that has little pieces of music with Jane Austen themes to them. As you can see, Highbury, and if you know the story of Jane Austen, you'll know some of these names. And here's a really pretty postcard that somebody sent me, and I loved it, so I could put that in there. And yeah, I was going to say I'm still working through Middlemarch, which is another one of my favourite winter reads. Storybook Home, that's the name of the magazine that I subscribed to, that had all these pretty little pictures in it. And another piece of music there. I think this piece was already in. And then the lady who did the journal, she did quite a lot of modern pictures, which I normally love, but because I'm making this more Regency, I just kind of covered them up a little bit just so they were more of a frame. And here we go with another excellent ball. I've got music on in the background, Out of Africa, another favourite movie of mine. And that's just a little tag that was already there. And here's the centre, so I think that's the first signature there. And I do love hummingbirds, that's so pretty. And there's just paper in there that's sewn in just to put notes in. More, and I just stuck some of these really pretty pictures on, and another little tag there that I'll use to work on. And then yep, this is a magazine called The Girls Paper, I think it's called. I'll have to look it up and put it on at the bottom, but they're really cute Victorian stories in there that you can read and put in. Here's a cute little thing that was already created, and that's the more from that magazine I was telling you about earlier. Just a nice big tag there, and of course I just love anything with floral on it like that. Yep, some more Jane Austen. This is from a Jane Austen journal kit that I downloaded, a digital kit that you can get on Etsy. You get lots of really fun pages. Here's more from that same magazine. Yep, and here we go. And also here's an altered envelope. You know, I took a junk journal envelope, and the tag does come out. I just can't remember which way. Oh, maybe it's this way. So the tag comes out, and then you've got this. Oh, and this is one of my favourite quotes from the movie. at one of the movies, "You are bewitched, body and soul, and I love you." That's such a pretty quote from Pride and Prejudice, I think that's from. And then, yeah, bluebell. Bluebells are my favourite flowers of the spring. And there we go, and there's a little bit more of just lots of room for me to journal, and another little pretty tag there that you sew around. Oh, and this is a nice postcard it's a vintage postcard that's been written on, which is kind of fun to have in there. And then, oh, more Jane Austen. And then more Jane Austen there. And then this is, oh, this was pretty because my son gave me this envelope, and so I didn't want to cover up his little writing, but it also was a fun envelope to add just a little bit of decoration to. Another little flip through there, and there you go there. I hope you're seeing all of this. And another pretty little tag with some lace on it, which I think is really pretty. Another one of those pages from a garden book. There you go. So what are you doing through the winter to keep yourself, you know, with it and going? Oh, Sense and Sensibility, one of my favourites. And I created a little file folder there out of 3 envelopes, and I'm actually going to cover the inside of this. I meant to do that, I haven't done that yet. So some ledger paper, which I think is always really pretty. More Jane Austen. This is coffee dyed paper. I do a lot of coffee dyeing of paper, which is really fun. And more pictures. Yeah, I've just finished another book that will be out in October. I'm so in love with this new book, so I'm hoping it translates to my readers and you guys enjoy it as much as I have. It'll be revealed. There'll be a cover reveal in the next couple of months and a title reveal. But I'm in the midst of editing that. Here's another little letter. And then, oh yeah, just different types of paper. Always looks so pretty. That's another note to myself about 2020, things that I wanted to remember. And then another tag. I want it at the end here. And then this is the belly band that I've put on here that I can add little cards to later at the date. And then the last couple of pages here, coffee dyed. And in the back here, we've got that nice little tag. And another little tag here. And then a little tiny, this is kind of fun. So that has been my winter project. I'm looking forward to making this. I think it's called an everyday book. It's where you put quotes and recipes or whatever in it. So I thought that would be fun to do for a change. And let me know what you think. Take care. Have a lovely day.